Hi everyone, welcome to Scary Corner. Tonight I have a true story that will make you think twice before getting into a taxi alone. Let's get into it. This story comes from our friend named Bagas. Bagas was on a business trip to a city in Indonesia. Let's just call it City A, since he also had a friend who lived there. They planned to meet up at 9 p.m. at a place about 25 minutes away from his hotel. At around 8:30 p.m., Bagas booked a ride using an online taxi app from his hotel room. After waiting a while, a driver finally accepted the request. When Bagas checked the app, he saw that the driver was still quite far away. Around 15 minutes out, Bagas used the time to quickly get ready. After about 5 minutes, he headed down to the hotel lobby to wait outside, planning to hop in as soon as the driver arrived. But the moment he stepped outside into the hotel's parking area, he was surprised. The taxi was already there, parked and waiting. Bagas didn't think too much about it. He figured maybe it was just a delay in the app's GPS tracking or his phone signal acting up. The car pulled up in front of the lobby and Bagas got in. He greeted the driver politely and the driver returned the greeting. But right then and there, Bagas started feeling a little uneasy. There was something off about the smell inside the car. It was a kind of fragrance, but not the usual kind of car freshener scent. It was weirdly sweet and unpleasant at the same time. Still, Bagas brushed it off, thinking maybe it was just a type of air freshener he'd never smelled before. As they drove, the uneasy feeling only grew stronger. About 10 minutes into the ride, Bagas noticed the air inside the car felt colder than usual. The streets they were passing became quieter and emptier, which was strange considering it wasn't even that late at night. The driver didn't say a single word after the greeting. The silence was thick and Bagas couldn't shake the strange vibe in the car. Trying to ease the tension, Bagas decided to strike up a conversation.
How long have you been driving for the app, sir?
About a year now, sir.
The driver responded. That short exchange somehow made Bagas feel a bit better. The reply felt human at least. He continued the conversation, hoping to shake off the eerie feeling.
So how's the taxi business here in City, sir?
Bagas asked.
It's decent, sir.
Their conversation carried on. The driver was polite, answering Bagas's questions, and even shared that he originally came from another city and had only recently moved to City A. Then out of nowhere, the driver said something strange.
Driving here at night is better, actually. It's safer. No traffic either, sir.
Bagas nodded in agreement and mentioned how the drivers he met so far had also said similar things. But even though the driver answered Bagas's questions, his tone was flat, totally emotionless, like he was only half present. It wasn't how normal people talk. Eventually, their car stopped at a red light. Oddly, they were the only car on the road, no other vehicles, no passing motorbikes, just them. Bagas looked ahead, trying to get a clearer view of the driver through the front mirror. The man's face was completely blank. no expression at all. His eyes were wide and staring straight ahead, not blinking, not glancing left or right. He was a heavy-set man and hadn't moved his body even once during the ride. It had started to drizzle. The cold air mixed with the sound of raindrops on the windshield made the silence even heavier. Then, out of the blue, the driver began telling a story of his own.
I once took a ride request around to AM, sir. The place was far. The road there had huge trees on both sides. It was quiet, but nothing strange happened. But when I got to the house, it was completely dark and far from any other homes.
Actually, Baggis felt uncomfortable with the story, but he still respected the driver and listened to it. The driver continued.
Before I left, the passenger told me to be careful. Then he suggested I spend the night there instead. Said it was dangerous to head back alone. That made me suspicious, sir.
Baggis stayed quiet, trying to hide the increasing tension he felt.
And what really shocked me was that right next to the house, there was a graveyard, not fenced off or hidden. It was just there, clearly visible.
At that point, Baggis's nerves were completely shot. His mind was racing. Why is he telling me this? Where are we even going? After that chilling story, the driver went completely quiet again. Baggis didn't say anything either. He just kept checking his phone, scrolling aimlessly, and watching the GPS. Thankfully, it showed that they were getting closer to the destination. But just before they arrived, the driver shared one final story, one that truly terrified Baggis.
You know, this city is actually pretty safe, sir. Since I moved here, I haven't met anyone dangerous.
Baggis nodded slowly, his heart already pounding.
Though, just recently, here was an online driver who took a late-night order. The passenger sat right behind him and suddenly stabbed him from behind. Stole the car. It was a brand new white.
Baggis froze. The car he was in was a brand new white, and he was sitting right behind the driver. Just as the driver finished that sentence, the car pulled up exactly at the destination. Perfect timing. Baggis didn't even bother saying goodbye. He jumped out of the car and ran straight into a nearby mini market that was still open. Inside, he tried to calm himself down while discreetly looking back outside. The car was still there. The driver hadn't moved at all. Baggis turned away for a moment, trying to breathe and steady himself. When he looked back again, the car was gone. Just like that. Vanished. So fast. Too fast. That's all for tonight. If you have a horror story you'd like to share, feel free to send it to the email below. I'd love to hear your experiences. Subscribe for more horror stories, and I'll meet you again.